Honda. Today, we recognize Honda as one of the largest motorcycle manufacturers in the world. It is such a big global success that they produce almost any type of vehicle you could think of, from cars to aeroplanes. Honda generates $121.8 billion in sales, and its assets are estimated at $201.3 billion. Not bad, right? What if I told you that this giant corporation was born out of a garage, and that everything Honda has achieved has only been possible thanks to the work and vision of one man who left home to step into the great unknown? Today, we will discuss the path of a man who has become a brand. Soichiro Honda, founder of the Honda Company, was born on November 17, 1906, in the small Japanese town of Tenryu, in a rural provincial area. Soichiro was the eldest son of a poor village blacksmith. Little Soichiro was obsessed with mechanics from a young age. When the first person in town bought a car, a Ford, it was like a miracle for him. He remembered the first time he saw the car until his last days. He loved telling the story of how he chased after the car with all of his strength and found a few drops of oil in the spot where the car had stopped. Soichiro got down on his knees and, oblivious to the world around him, took in the smell of the strange liquid. He rubbed the oily sand on his hands and could not imagine anything better than the smell of oil. At that moment, his dream was born. He wanted to make his own car. His father, alongside being a blacksmith, repaired bicycles, which further fueled Soichiro's interest in the technology and gave him the opportunity to get acquainted with the inner workings of bicycles. In 1922, Honda graduated high school and moved from his hometown to the capital. He wanted to get a job as a mechanic when he moved to Tokyo, but as a 15-year-old without experience, he started out looking after the kids of the Shokai workshop owner. He worked as a nanny until September 1st, 1923, the day of the Great Kanto earthquake. Tokyo and other major cities were destroyed. Thousands of people died. Most of the mechanics at the garage took some time off to rebuild their homes. There was a labor shortage, and Soichiro finally got his chance to work his dream job. He repaired cars. Honda's creativity soon became apparent in his work. The earthquake had brought destruction and fires. Houses and also cars were destroyed. Many cars were sent to the garage for repairs. Soichiro noticed that the wooden spokes of the wheels burnt in the fire, so he developed a metal disc to take the place of the wooden spokes. In 1928, he received the first of 150 patents for his invention. That year, the owner of the Art Shokai workshop let Honda go back to his hometown to open a branch of the garage there. When he got home, he opened a car repair shop and started training young people who were interested in technology. They were mostly children from poor families who could not afford formal studies. Over time, he gained more students and his garage was no longer big enough for all of them. So he started the Tokai Seiki Heavy Industry Company, which manufactured piston rings. A year later, the company received a large order from Toyota. Interestingly, it was this order that forced Soichiro to reopen his first garage to complete the work on time. He had to use his own personal savings and even took out a loan to fulfill the Toyota order. Soichiro often put his own money into the company. As it turned out, Toyota had given their future competitors a boost. Soichiro's business was gaining momentum. However, his company was on the brink of destruction during the Second World War. The plant was completely destroyed. The business that he had put so much work and money into was destroyed in an instant. Soichiro took the difficult decision to sell what was left of the business, as he could not afford to restore it. With the money he made from the sale of the company, Soichiro founded a new company in 1946. It was called Honda Technical Research Institute. It's worth noting that Soichiro did not like school. The education system bored him and he often skipped class. He was self-taught. He preferred to experiment and learn from trial and error. Now that he had his workshop and means of production, he had more freedom to work on his own designs. Soichiro took a simple bicycle and added a low-power gas engine to it. After the war, the country was in ruin and people needed an economical means of transportation. The design sold well and made the Honda name quite famous. This was just the beginning. In 1948, his company started to develop and manufacture motorcycles. The first motorcycle was called Dream. Of course, the company also produced the components for mopeds and motorcycles. Soichiro was overwhelmed by the demand for his products, so he welcomed a partner into the company. Takeo Fujisawa came on board and is considered to be the second founder of Honda. Fujisawa was more involved in corporate management and sales, while Honda focused on his work as an engineer and inventor. They complemented each other perfectly. The company kept growing, as did sales. By 1951, a new factory was opened in Tokyo. 2 years later, his company had its own headquarters. A few years later, the partners had a dispute over the future of the company. The supply of motorcycles lagged behind the demand. Fujisawa thought that they had to increase sales, therefore more workers and factories were needed. But Honda didn't agree. He had bigger ideas. He was convinced that they could crack the international market. Competing in motorsports was a good way to spread the brand's name. The Honda motorcycle team had already taken part in races in Brazil in 1953, but due to one of the riders falling ill, they only placed 13th out of 25. Soichiro decided to go to the TT races in 1954 as a spectator, giving him the chance to personally assess the pros and cons of his competitors' motorcycles and develop a strategy to improve his own motorcycles. Alongside growing the company, he continued experimenting and competing in motorcycle races. In 1961, he was able to prove that Honda motorcycles were the best in the world, as Honda riders took the first 5 places in the race. By 1954, Honda Motor Company was producing around 130 motorcycles a day. Productivity increased tenfold by 1959. They needed to increase their production. The company opened another factory, which cost more than 10 million yen. Fujisawa had to negotiate with the government to save the company from bankruptcy. In 1954, motorcycles such as the Dream 70 and Honda Super Cab were released onto the market. The latest model was very popular overseas. It was affordable and had an incredibly simple design. The company started to produce up to 50,000 bikes a month. At the time, this seemed incredible. The first Honda ad campaign was launched in the 1960s. Honda motorcycles were synonymous with reliability and speed. 9 out of 10 consumers who were in the market for a motorcycle chose the Honda brand. Many people would stop at this point, having already become very successful, relax and enjoy life. But this was not the way for Soichiro Honda. The company was his whole life. He held on to his childhood dream. At the age of 56, he decided to take a risk and launch the production of cars. Nothing could stop him, not even the fact that the factories were not equipped to build cars, and car manufacturing is an expensive endeavor. Furthermore, the Japanese Ministry of International Trade and Industry made it clear that they didn't need another automotive firm. Soichiro decided to ignore this. His new ambition was to take part in Formula One. In 1963, the first Honda car was released, the S500, a small sports car with a convertible roof. They also made the small T360 truck, which was an instant hit. The company won their first car race in 1965. The American driver Richie Ginter won the Mexican Grand Prix in a Honda RA272. The company took part in many races and were very successful. After 1967, Honda gradually expanded its range of vehicles. The real success was the release of the Honda Civic. The 1973 oil crisis played into their hands. While most car companies reduced their output and raised prices, Honda took a risk and increased their output while bringing prices down. This bold move doubled the company's profits, while other car companies were struggling. Later, the more high-end Honda Accord was produced. The model was in such high demand in the US that a new plant was built in Ohio just for this model. In 1986, Honda pivoted to the production of premium cars, making them a market leader in the automotive industry. In the 90s, the American automotive market was saturated and sales fell, so Honda opened new factories in India, Turkey, Indonesia, and Brazil. A motorcycle factory was opened in China. Soichiro Honda was president of the company until 1973, but continued to lead the company until 1983. After his death in 1991, rivals started to compete with Honda on a serious level. Other Japanese companies started to outpace Honda. Also, the market was inundated with SUVs that became very popular in the early 90s. The company even tried to absorb Mitsubishi Motors. Nobuhiko Kawamoto, the new head of the company, revised the company's corporate principles and developed a customer-oriented approach. They put out a series of cars for family vacations, such as the Honda Odyssey and the Honda CR-V. The company brought in big changes after 1992. Kawamoto announced the company's departure from Formula One, and the company set out to make their production more environmentally friendly. In 1997, Honda released the world's first electric car, the Honda EV+. Then the company returned to the principles of the founder, Soichiro Honda, by focusing on quality and simplicity. They always used their own technology and designs, as well as producing their own parts. The company diversified their production. In 2006, they launched Honda Aircraft and broke world records with the sales of business-class aircraft. They also make a range of gardening equipment, jet skis, generators, and since 1980, x86 have been actively involved in the research and development of artificial intelligence. In 2000, they released their first robot, called Asimo. Now Honda owns more than 30 factories in 15 countries. It recently celebrated its 70th birthday and isn't going to quit anytime soon. They will continue to put out new and improved products. It's safe to say that the company has reached these heights due to the creativity, ability to think outside the box, and rebellious nature of its founder. Soichiro Honda is often compared to Henry Ford. He was a great innovator in the automotive industry, yet he also stayed humble. He never indulged in designer clothing and the trappings of a luxurious life. He also wore a simple red shirt and jacket, since he didn't believe in judging people by their appearance. A person's mind and character are much more important. That is why most of the management positions in his company were filled by his students from when he worked in his first garage. Soichiro claims that the workshop and working with tools taught him much more than any prestigious university ever could. Despite strained relations with the government, he proved his value to everyone. He liked to say, "Success is only 1% of your work, and the rest is the courage to overcome failure. If you are not afraid to make mistakes, success will come eventually." And now, a question for you. Are you prepared to make mistakes on your road to success? Do you think that one day there will be a car bearing your name? Share your thoughts in the comments. That's all for today. See you next time.